deuce, queen, ace, 9. Aces and queens for Roland. We have 9s for Nick.
Because of the size of Roland's raise, Slade had limited fold equity when he did this.
And let's see the river.
And now he's drawing dead to a 9 on the river.
It's a deuce.
And Nick Slade is out in 7th place.
Wow.
Kind of feel that was a little bit suicidal. Cashes for 70,210 euros.
Wow. What a time to just punt it in with Jack 9 on the final table.
Yeah, I'm still caught. I know you don't have ace king. Why? I just the way you acted, that you're like.
Still at the 8-16 blind level, and ace 10 is the hand for William Thorson.
William calls.
Take it in. Not this time.
George and Gavin both cast. Roland attempts to call, but doesn't quite get on enough chips. There we go.
So DeWolf has flatted the raise. Queen 9, the hand for Rob.
Rob says show us the flop. We have 3 players looking at this flop.
And Thorson didn't raise, just called with the ace 10, so an unraised pot.
The flop is
And this is ace, Trey, deuce. Top pair against a set here.
Rob checks. William checks.
What a flop for the pocket deuces. And given his reputation, Thorson could really struggle to fold down the streets here.
Roland bets 70,000. Rob Young can get away from this.
Rob pass.
Thorson, on the other hand.
Certainly not folding just yet.
The turn card is the queen of clubs. William's first to act.
Thorson checks a second time. DeWolf about to bet for a second time. So the orange chips are 10k.
Put some pressure on.
140,000.
Roland is bet 140,000. The action's on William. William calls.
This is now a huge pot. 2 chip leaders going at it.
The river card is the 8 of spades. William's first to act. He checks.
How much you have?
Oh,
Question you hate to hear.
we established earlier that Thorson looks peed off at the best of times.
670.
The conclusion of this hand, he's going to be really tilted.
The backdoor clubs do miss. If you bet the flop at hands like King 10, King Jack, they miss. And from what we've seen from the Wolf, he is capable of just having a complete airball here as well.
The lead is 350,000 bets from Roland.
350,000 into a pot of nearly 500,000. Thorson gets away from it.
Roland wins the pot.
It's a nice fold. It's a tough fold against an aggressive player, but on a final table, he decides he can just keep his chips, try and get some more ladders, rather than making a marginal call.
So whoever takes down this final table will join the roster of EPT champions. becoming the 4th winner of season 3.
60,000.
We've played Barcelona, London and Baden. This is the 4th event of the 3rd season in the autumn of 2006.
Was Barcelona always historically like the biggest?
No.
In terms of number? No.
No, there was a time, and bear in mind that Deauville now disappears from the tour for a few years, but when Deauville comes back in season 5, season 6, Deauville was the biggest event.
Yeah.
The French market was booming during that period.
I always thought it was Deauville, D-O-U-G-H, because people want so much money there.
Clubs, Jack of Diamonds, 3 of Spades.
Thank you, Joseph.
Hey, I'm back, by the way.
Yeah, noted.
Turn 6 of Hearts, rolling checks.
Lawson's still good. The Wolf still with bottom pair.
45.
William bets 45,000.
I guess if we're going to be accurate and do 2006 style commentary, Roland has 2 pair.
I know that this is a pet peeve of yours, right?
Flops 2 pair.
Yeah. Oh, here we go with an unnecessary raising war.
It wasn't just about the chips then, James.
120 more to William.
There was ego and pride on the line.
Ego in poker, ego broke. Thorson calls. The river card is another 3. Oh, come on.
Wow.
Sick.
Check, check.
He's so amazing bad. It's
Rolling shows. Rolling for 5.
He's so amazing bad.
Should bet the river.
Oh, come on.
it's like a donk play. Raise when he's behind and check when he's ahead.
He's not wrong.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, we've got Ace King suited here for Rob Young.
David pass.
Rob, it's time. Oh, shoot, Bruce Buffer's not going to get me for that,
Rob
is he?
makes it 80,000. William pass.
Pretty sure he owns it, Joe.
Great. Joe Stapleton bankrupts PokerStars.
Thought I was going to go 1 week without a lawsuit.
The Wolf shoves on Rob Young, who snap calls.
Jack of Spades.
He has Roland dominated and is set to double up.
The Wolf domination.
The flop is
Ace, 6, deuce.
clubs. Neither player has a heart.
Rob now an 87% favorite.
The turn is the 7 of Spades. Roland needs a Jack or
Rob just has to fade Jack on the river,
river card, please.
and we will play on.
Oh my God.
How
Break.
good is Roland de Wolf running at this final table?
Tournament.
A sick
My
beat, which sees Rob Young eliminated in 6th place. Not happy. Cashes for 88,690 euros. Queen Jack. So Vernier calls. And Roland checks his option with 5-4. The flop is Ace-5 tray. Pair and a straight draw for Roland.
Pretty strong over there. And trips again. I guess only trips this time. Last time it was a full house.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he gets any value on this though.
We did just see a raise on the turn with 6-4 on Ace Queen 10, so you never know.
Exactly. He could click that button again. convince yourself here. He's not supposed to have a 5. And if he doesn't have a 5, he's got to fold.
Raises to 220,000. We can see he's drawing dead. Sorry, that's a raise by 220,000.
And the Oscar goes to De Wolf. For appearing stressed out and then re-raising.
Yeah, but then Tavernier has to give it up. Always just a call. So he's giving Tavernier the opportunity to bluff again on the river. No card helps the Frenchman.
9.
Inconsequential 9.
Holland is first to speak.
Do we see him pull the trigger?
You give him credit for trying at least.
ATB, addicted the bluff, and let's go.
All in.
Oh, no. No. Snap call by De Wolf.
Holland shows 5-4.
And that concludes the Dublin main event as Roland De Wolf becomes an EPT champion.
I think the real winner here for making that move is Tavernier. Of course, the real winner is De Wolf.
Nina's just shoved.
Yeah, that's going to be a call for me, dog.
10 big blinds with 8-7. 10 big calls with Queen Jack.
All in on the call. The all-in player. Heap is all in with 7-8 off. Called by Tiro with Queen Jack of Spades.
Just an absolute.
The all-in player has 8-7. Called by Queen Jack of Spades.
Absolute.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. This is the Irish Open. We're going to see a flop in a couple of moments. All-in player 8-7, called by Queen Jack of Spades. Queen 9-2.
Easy game, say it. Say
Zero
it. Easy
takes the lead with Queen with a Jack kicker. Ladies and gentlemen, with just the river to go, we now have a one Queen's on the river. Ladies and gentlemen, the Irish Open champion for 2024. Please put together for Tiro Larilla.
Torilla!
Congratulations to you, sir. Tremendous performance. Pete, we'd like to also answer what a tremendous performance by you. Tiro, Irish Open champion, how does it feel?
Can I curse?
Okay.
Fucking awesome.
That was the 2024 final table. This is the final table of the Irish Open 2025 main event, presented by PokerStars and Paddy Power Poker. We're at the RDS as five-handed action continues. That's right, we're down to the final five of this year's FT. It's James Hartigan alongside Griffin Benger.
Hello, everyone.
And Griffin, these are the five players. We are going to the 1 million, 2 million blind level. So things are getting a little bit shallow now. 3 players with sub 20 big blind stacks, 2 players hovering around the 10 big blind mark, and the chip leader only has 38 bigs.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, actually? We were watching last year's winner, that final hand there, and the all-in amount was just 20 million. Really goes to show how many more players we have in this massive Irish Open. 600,000 euros to the winner.
Absolutely. Should say chip stacks also slightly distorted by the increased starting stack this year. 50k instead of 30k, so a lot more chips in play. But yes, as you highlighted, Griff, 600k up top, the next player out 130k, money jumps with every single elimination, and we play on.
I feel like I would have gotten away with that one. Just had to. Mr. Semantics, he got me again.
It's an important detail to consider when we estimate how long is this thing gonna go on.
Sure. So how many was it last year? It's 50,000 this year.
It was a 30k starting stack.
30K? Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. So yes, a smaller starting field and also a shorter starting stack.
Yeah.
And the last seconds of the break ticking away, and then we'll be able to ask the question, what way are we eating and what floor is the restaurant on? The Chinese way. Level 42 is about to begin. And once the Irish Open wraps here in Dublin, we will move on to Monte Carlo. Those are the festival dates, April 30th through May 10th. 5 days of main event coverage on the PokerStars Twitch and YouTube channels, coming your way in May. So much support on the rail right now, and a huge flag for Simon Wilson, who is second in chips. It is Ignatius Kiersas who is the chip leader right now.
I know this is a very exciting final table, James, but there's something a little bit sad about this empty room. It's almost over, the Irish Open.
I know, I mean, there are still a few events being played out, but any table that's not in use right now is being broken down. The chairs are being wheeled out. The venue will be handed back tomorrow. This is Irish Open almost at an end, but we do need to close out the main event. One thing I wanted to highlight, by the way, Griff, is that as we roll into a new blind level, we're currently 5-handed. The rules are when we get 3-handed, the level durations will reduce to 40 minutes.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Just so we can catch our flights tomorrow.
That is a factor. That is very much a factor. So yeah, 1 million, 2 million blinds.
Yeah, and a pretty strong final five here. Not a wart among them. Been seen flashes of great play.
And we are getting the action restarted.
Gives me this.
So action folded to Umberto Ruggieri in the small blind.
Kind of wish he had the Jack of Hearts in his hand because he has the Jack of Hearts shirt, you know, not the diamond. You know what I'm saying, James?
I know what you're saying. A raise and a fold. So Ruggieri hovering around 20 bigs. The short stacks right now are Karim on 10 bigs and Skarparis on 9 bigs. And this is where ICM is a factor, Griffin. 130k for the next player out, 170k if you can ladder up into 4th place. And that money jump is going to be weighing on the minds of Karim and Skarparis, hoping to outlast the other.
Yeah, and Ruggieri just has this energy of just a survivor, just scrapping and clawing. We've seen him do it before on the EPT. Here he is, trying to become the Irish Open 2025 champion. Pretty tall task with these, you know, strong chip leaders in Kiersas and Wilson. But as you remarked upon, James, the chip separation not that large. I mean, if Ruggieri were to double through, either one of those opponents would become the new chip leader. Chip leader only with 38 big blinds right now, and going to be coming in with a raise for sure with the ace queen of diamonds at the cutoff. Nope.
Would be a good one.
3-bet.
Raise and take it for the chip leader. And yeah, 82.5 million sounds like a lot of chips, but it's still only 41 big blinds.
I like those purples. What are those? Half a millies?
$500K chips indeed.
Hand 149.
Should highlight that's hand 149 of the day, not necessarily of the final table. We started
Touche.
about 11 hours ago with 19 players.
Yeah, I am used to the final day being just final table, but we had a lot of work to do cutting through this massive field of 4,562 entrants with 50K starting stacks. Pretty incredible event here at the Irish Open, only getting bigger each and every year.
And we have the open from Ruggieri. Ace 3 of hearts. Ace Queen. Simon Wilson.
Yeah, I think I would imagine this just being a shove for Wilson, but perhaps he is considering, is there any room for me to potentially create an induce scenario? Likely not at 17 big blinds effective for Ruggieri. Perhaps he is always just shoving here, but I think Simon Wilson, the type of animal that's going to find ways to maximize the value of these big hands. But those are shoving eyes if I've ever seen them, James. Oh, he found it. He found it. This is really, this is real nice stuff. I think it would be a lot of players' instincts here to just shove in, like I said, just 17 big blinds effective against Ruggieri, but also simply because Wilson is going to be so incentivized to put pressure on the player that is third in chips, that he is going to be able to have some bluffs here, find some bluffs with, you know, a pretty wide range. And Ruggieri's got the kind of hand that could make a stand if he thinks Wilson's just looking down at King 9 and going for it here. Oh, and look at his tongue flickering like
let's it go.
Snake. Like a suspicious snake. But Wilson did have it there, and I think that's some real good discipline. Humberto doing everything he can to sort of play within the rules. Yeah, those two short stacks, sub 10 big blinds.
Yeah.
Something's going to have to give.
Thanks. With this.
Karim in the small blind. Looks down at Queen 6. Announces all in. It is Kyrsis in the big blind.
Good vibes here.
Oh, he's got sevens.
He's got it.
He's calling. Boom. Karim at risk. This could be the hand that takes us down to 4.
Yeah. And unless he somehow finds that queen or gets lucky in some way, the Karim will not rise to the top today.
All in the call, ladies and gentlemen. Michelle has Queen 6 all in. Called by pocket 7s.
7? I don't know how this queen is. 7? Never come to 7. The queen's like me, brother. Sorry. Hey, Jack, we oblige you. Hey, Jack, Queen 6. Whatever you want.
Karim, a 2-to-1 dog. The one-time chip leader on the verge of elimination.
Michel Karim has Queen 6 offsuit. On the flop, Ace, Ace, 8.
Not bad, all things considered. A couple spades out there, 3 overs to the 7s on a paired board. An 8 would leapfrog him over Kyrsis.
To remind you again, Sweden's Michel is all in.
7 of spades, yeah? 7 of spades. Look, nice.
Low card.
The brick of all bricks. The red deuce.
A queen.
Only a queen or an 8 on the river saves Michel Karim. It's a 3. We are down to 4 players.
We lose from Sweden, Michel Karim, who receives for 5th place today, 130,000 euro. Will you give Michel a big round of applause? What a great effort. And finishing 5th in the Irish Open 2025. Congratulations to you, sir.
Yeah, just solid play from Michel Karim. Very worthy 5th place finisher. Just ran out of time and ran out of chips.
Meanwhile, Ignatis Kyrsis increases his chip lead, is now playing close to 100 million, close to 50 bigs.
In the main table of our feature event of the week, the main event of Showman, main event final day, the 4th place home will receive 170,000 euro. 170,000 euro for the next contestant to be knocked out of our main event.
Are we going to see Kyrsis cross the 100 million mark, Griffin?
Getting pretty close. All it takes is one more hand.
Well, the very next hand, I'd see the green triangle of death in front of Georgios Skarparis. He is all in with ace-4 offsuit. And Simon Wilson has asked for a count. What's Wilson tanking with?
Something pretty good.
King Jack.
Yeah, quite close here with King Jack. I think you can justify a fold because you are... he's on the button, right? And then the blinds are behind.
Wilson is effectively the button here. Yeah, it's actually a dead button, this hand.
Yeah, so if he was in the big blind, I think he would, comfortably flick it in. Even the small blind be more inclined. Just the problem with calling here is, putting in over a quarter of your stack with 2 people behind that can wake up with better hands. But as far as range versus range, King Jack probably breaking even, maybe slightly ahead of the Skarparis range.
You won
well, it looks like everyone's folded.
Oh, I saw a lot of bluffs on the stream, Mr. Lithuania.
Oh, really?
Yes, with the king.
No more bluffs. No more bluffs.
King
Only good hands now. Only good hands now.
No more folds.
No more folds.
Don't double me up.
It's unfair that it's like only half an hour. It should be like 2 hours or something. Delay, I mean.
No, it's good. Half an hour.
It ruins my image terribly. Straddle?
Pardon?
Straddle, no?
Not yet, not yet.
Wilson raising under the gun with ace-6.
I wish I started this one.
And that was raise and take it.
Long way to go, of course, but all indications point to Simon Wilson really being a great representative of the Irish poker community, the up-and-coming sort of next gen of players, these strong, talented young players, and an incredible rail here to support him, of course. So many people wanting to see that trophy being lifted by an Irishman here. But this guy's going to be a tough out. Kyrsis is a battler. If you've been watching all day, last couple days, I mean, he really goes after it. So I consider him sort of the final boss. But we still got two other guys for Sherry. the cockroach, as it were.
Wilson, though, with ace-jack of spades.
Yeah, not going to be incentivized to put more than just the call in here. You'd almost be sort of turning this hand into a bluff if you were to 3-bet it, because you can't continue to any more action, and that is just a lovely, lovely flop. We have seen, you know, the tendency of Kyrsis to find multiple barrels along the streets with even the bottom of his range. You know, in this case, he's going to start with a bet. Wilson's going to continue with a call, and the question just becomes, does Kyrsis fire more? Will Wilson improve? I don't want to jump too far ahead of ourselves here in this hand, but, you know, I will say I think that king just being a club and not a spade might incentivize Kyrsis not to be barreling on, say, a turned spade as much.
I mean, Wilson now better than a 9-1 favorite in this hand, Griffin. Clearly, ace-high still the best hand, plus he's got the best draw. Looks like the action's gone check, check. Ace-high still the best hand.
Yeah, and good discipline here from Kyrsis. He knows that that's not a good turn when it comes to interacting with what Wilson's range already is. Just sort of saying, yeah, I mean, I think this one's yours. I don't have to win every pot just because I'm the slight chip leader.
Action is on Wilson. Think this goes check, check?
I do. No real reason for Wilson to bet. And, you know, not a lot of reason for Kyrsis either.
Okay.
Ace high versus king high. Wilson wins the pot, and with that hand, Simon Wilson takes the chip lead in the Irish Open main event. He now has the slight advantage over Ignatius Kyrsis.
But is he pumping it up, James?
You have to pump it up, Griffin. You've got to pump it up.
Oh, my gosh.
You better pump it up.
Okay.
If you don't pump it up, I'm coming for you.
Well, spoke a little soon there, James. Look at that. I guess once the blinds are posted.
Yeah.
Look at that. Basically tied.
Would you go so far as to say evens Stevens?
Doing, doing.
one I'm not sure. Yeah, you have like pocket sixes? Maybe something like this? Yeah, button's good.
If I'm betting, I have it.
Well, Curtis wins that one and now has the advantage over Wilson for sure. Slight advantage, 3 million difference.
Do you know how much you are playing after the blinds?
35. 35.
35. Thank you.
Less.
Lithuania. Oh. It was very close.
You don't want to get caught out by the first card off the deck rule.
Yeah, one card and it's gone. $32 behind. Thanks.
No, with...
with everything. Thanks.
9-7 suited for Wilson on the button. So Wilson is going to raise to 4 million. Kirsis, ace deuce in the small blind, has flatted, and now we've got Umberto Ruggieri, who's got 13 bigs behind, 7-6 offsuit in the big.
Bit of an unorthodox flat. I think a lot of players would either 3-bet and fold this combination in the spot, probably lean more fold. I think it is a bit interesting. There was a similar spot that happened yesterday that we saw Ruggieri flat from the ace-7 Spraggy facing a button open instead of 3-betting. And look at this.
Oh, we have got a very dramatic flop. We've got top pair against the flush draw, against the street flush draw, Griffin.
Yeah, and this is an action-packed board.
Yes, this is checked, playing in flow. Wilson is a 6-4 dog here, but what's not to like about this board from his perspective? And you would expect him to continue into a pot of 12 million.
Yeah, and goes a bit. Looks like it's a bet of 5 million. Yeah, a bit chunkier than, maybe we would see on the. Sometimes you see sort of 25-30% pot bets, but in this case, with this sort of range advantage,
yeah,
Kirsis, is going to have a pretty strong range electing to flat the small blind. It's not like he's calling in the big blind. He should really be on base a lot of the time here. Hands like pocket 5s to 7s will be getting folded out here a lot of the time to a bigger sizing on the flop.
Well, now ace high is looking, pair of aces looking a lot better with the board pairing on the turn. Kirsis now almost a 4-1 favorite.
I will say an interesting benefit to Kirsis flatting the ace-deuce is maybe Wilson doesn't expect him to be very ace-heavy. That would expect maybe those kind of combinations, ace-x suited, ace-x offsuit hands, to be 3-betting a lot of the time. So maybe he can bet big here and fold out a king-10 of hearts, or maybe even a Jack 10 suited if he bets big enough. And so that's why I think he's actually going to go for perhaps a large size here.
Okay, so 22 million in the pot. His continuation bet was 5 million. Definitely sizing up here.
And Kyrsis isn't going anywhere. And this is pretty amazing stuff from Kyrsis, because as we talked about, not exactly normal to be flatting a hand like ace deuce, so not expected.
Yeah.
So because it's kind of in the weeds, you know, your hand strength goes up. You're so high up in your range with even just ace deuce here. You're so much more weighted to having queen jack off, you know, Jack 10 suited, queen to jack suited.
It's 16 million now, Griffin.
Yeah, and he's going to happily put it in. Of course, it's getting a bit, you know, like, hey, the pot's suddenly 54 million, and we were looking at pot.
Wow.
But, you know, I think he feels like pretty confident. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Wow.
The 10 on the river, so the flush doesn't get there, but the straight draw does.
Yeah, and this is effectively the nuts for Kyrsis. For Wilson. The only hand he can worry about that he'd be losing to here is king queen of clubs. All the other king queens fold out on the turn, so we have just the stone nuts here. You know, aces, jacks, 3-bet pre, pocket eights so unlikely, 10s are folded out. So we have the nuts here, and that's a really good feeling to have. The question is if we think we are at this point up against, you know, ace-x, that could be ace-10. You know, if we're up against any, like, what do we think Kyrsis is calling it all in? Almost certainly not. Maybe we go with that kind of size if we're bluffing and don't river the 10 if we really want to go for it.
Yeah.
So what amount do we bet here where we can extract value? Get a crying call from an ace-deuce that maybe thinks he's chopping. Maybe we're only allowed to bet, you know, 20 to 25 million. But all the same, we want to make it at least appear to look bluffy, so we might see something in the larger size. I mean, this is not a spot you see every day. Four-handed playing for the Irish Open title. You know, your countrymen at your back, your friends, your families watching at home. This is the spot. This is it, right?
25 million.
And he does go with that 25 million size, and I think this is a really intelligent balance between it can still be a bluff and not wanting to scare off an ace that, you know, might feel inclined to call. And also look at how intricate the sizing is and what it leaves Kyrsis. You know, it leaves him with 20 big blinds. It leaves him ahead of Rogeri and Skarparis. So just so many ways that I think this is it's just a really great bet. And he gets the quick call.
Kyrsis makes the call, and that is going to completely change the dynamic of this final table. Huge hand. Biggest part of the tournament so far. Simon Wilson has more than 140 million chips. 70 big blinds. Ignatus Kyrsis is second in chips and only has 20 big blinds. And to think Kyrsis would have been dealt out of that hand if Wilson didn't tell him to sit down.
A great point. And yeah, and I mean, this is, you know, we were talking about how interesting it was to flat that ace-deuce, but if it was played more standardly as a tight fold or maybe a loose, big size 3-bet, I don't necessarily think that Wilson is going to defend the 9-7 suited, not so incentivized to battle with the other chip leader. And yeah, so I think that might come back to haunt Kyrsis. But what an incredible river. You know, if the river's not the 10, you know, how does it change? Is Wilson going to be prepared to go for that massive third barrel? But as played, I think Wilson really found great sizing on the river and won a massive pot. Just a huge chip lead now, 141 million and only 80 million combined between the rest of the field.
Rogeri's still pulling his hair out. Why did I check those 9s on the river? I could have got rid of this guy. And now this is a tale of the have and the have-nots. 70 bigs for Wilson, 20 for Kyrsis, 12 for Rogeri, 7 for Skarparis. Wilson with ace-6. I mean, we're getting to the point, Griffin, where you know, if Kersis loses a few more chips, he can just open jam every hand. In fact, he can do that now. He can leverage ICM and really put these guys in jail.
Yeah, it is Christmas now for Wilson. He can just shove indiscriminately.
Oh, ace jack for Ruggeri. How badly do you want a ladder, buddy? Oh, I could just make 50 grand by folding. That's the irony. He folds it.
Yeah.
ICM is real. Skarparis, remember, has 7 big blinds and calls with 7s.
Giorgio's calls, Simon's all in. Simon shows ace 6 offsuit hearts and diamonds, and Giorgio shows pocket 7s.
And as we know, one of the aces was folded in the form of ace jack, and he just told him, I think, he just told Skarparis, which is, frankly, James, I think he just cursed the hand. Don't tell the guy there's less outs, and now he's smiling even bigger. I'm telling you, that ace is coming.
We play for the pain, Griffin. Skarparis at risk, but ahead.
For pocket 7s against ace 6. The flop. Ace number 4. Ace 2.
And we know what Ruggeri's thinking.
Just say.
Just a 7 and a 7 only will save Georgios for his main event life.
Is it always coming?
Cover your ears.
We see the elimination of Georgios Skarparis in 4th place as Simon Wilson boosts his chip lead as 3-handed play begins.
And a footballer celebration to the rail. Pumping those arms up as the rowdy and perhaps intoxicated rail. Not a man out there without a beer in his hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, where 3rd place will take home a very cool €225,000. The representations on the table, the countries represented are Lithuania, it's Italy, and Ireland. Our final 3 contestants for the Irish Open Final 2025 with €600,000 going to the winners.
Now, this changes everything. Yes, there's still a lot of chips in play, but one player has the vast majority of them. And that means Wilson could potentially, in theory, dispatch both opponents pretty quickly, Griffin.
Yeah, only 32 big blinds between Kersis and Ruggeri. 78 in the form of 156 million chips for the people's potential champ, Simon Wilson.
There's been a lot of talk about the prospect of a deal, especially when those payouts were published and we realized there was a pretty much 100% jump in prize money between 2nd and 1st. But we have had numerous sources tell us that Wilson intends to play for it all.
Nice.
Probably has to fold. You had? Yeah, good fold. I mean, what can you do?
Fucking fold. Fucking ECM.
Yeah.
Let's keep pumping it up as we begin 3-handed play. So we have reached a point where I believe all future levels, we've still got half an hour to play on level 42. Once we get to the new level, it's going to be 40-minute blind levels because we are now short-handed at this final table. What a crazy half hour of poker that was.
Big blind only, because the last time.
Ah, sorry.
It is officially Tuesday morning in Ireland. Half past the hour of 12, half past midnight. Cursus is raised under the gun with ace-4. Wilson calling out of the big blind with tray deuce of clubs. And it's a jack 9-9 flop with one club. Another club on the turn after it goes check, check on the flop.
Yeah, and that is window cracked open for Simon Wilson. You know, a board that he would have just almost certainly check folded, but getting the one kind of card that he can just put massive pressure on the exact kind of hand Kyrsis has. I would expect a very large bet here. And does go for about 75% pot.
8 million into 11 million and gets ace high to fold.
Yeah, it might have been different on a 5 of clubs, even a 6 of clubs, but the 7 of clubs, just so much interaction, a straight already being possible. I think that's a fold Kyrsis has to make, even though he knows that sometimes he's going to be folding the best hand.
Ready.
So something that David Lappin referenced when he was in earlier on is that, yes, Steve O'Dwyer won this tournament in 2022. We know that Steve has Irish citizenship, plays under the Irish flag, but is American-born. It has been a while since, I guess, a true local has taken down this tournament. I think it may have been the better part of 10 years. So there are going to be scenes at the RDS if Simon Wilson can close this out.
You know, I always kind of felt like I was Irish at heart, though, and so, you know, maybe some people consider me the... No. This is not a good bet.
The irony is, you have a genuine claim to British heritage, just not Irish.
Yeah, this is the move here. Not really good enough to induce necessarily. I mean, it is a 16 big blind induce hand, but you want to kind of balance your reckless shoves that you're allowed to do with these, you know, near premiums.
And we know, of course, the singing continues.
It can't be for every hand here. We're never going to get anything built.
Well, I mean, remember, again, intel from Lappin, a lot of these guys managed to take advantage of what they considered to be a very good price on Paddy Power. 225 to 1 with the odds on Simon Wilson.
What was the max bet?
About 5 or 10 euros, but even so, enough of them have got money on that it might just cost Paddy a fair few quid.
So wait, 225 to 1 on $10 would be 2,200 bucks?
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, I mean, what a great buzz that is. What a very great, generous sort of promotion there from Paddy Power. I mean, most of the time the person's not going to win, but I just mean that, like, to give an extra kind of like kick to the rail. It's like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's very Irish Open.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people got that bet on, and I know some people the bet was capped at 5 by the point they got it on. It's a novelty market. You can't bet too much on novelty markets.
Yeah.
Wilson raising the button with 10-5. Kyrsis calling out of the small blind with Queen 9.
And
Ruggieri in as well with 7-6.
Yeah, and I think, listen, I don't know a deep understanding of Kyrsis' game. I've seen a lot of what I would call quite strong bluffs and aggression. We're starting to see some of the leaks in this game. This is a poor flat from the small blind here. His job right now is to stay out of the way of Wilson. Queen 9 is just a very, very poor call. Just no, you know, I can't sugarcoat it. It's just a bad play. and has been outflopped here, has flopped some equity, is incentivized to want to see a turn. I think he might get one because Wilson maybe, I don't know, maybe Wilson wants to protect his equity here and bet. He's not going to expect any aces here, doesn't want to give a free card to Queen 9. And what do you do with the Queen 9? So I've seen so much that I like from Kyrsis over the last day. Some really nice aggression, some really nice bluffs. This is a big mistake. You're playing for too much money. You have more chips than Ruggieri. You can't call the small blind here with Queen on and off. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, projections are that if Simon Wilson wins, it's going to cost Paddy Power anywhere between 150 and 250 grand.
Wow, so up to like 100 people doing it and stuff.
Oh yeah, a lot of people in the Irish poker community got money on Wilson.
What a good crack. This is just great.
Love it. Shows the 5. Shows the 5 as he claims the pot.
What a good buzz here at the Irish Open 2025. One of the rising stars of Ireland, Simon Wilson, with a massive 87 big blinds to the combined 25 of his two opponents. Is it going to be lifted by Ireland?
Action folded to Ruggieri in the small blind. King deuce.
Yeah, goes all in with the blocker. You don't love it. You're going to get snapped by a ton of better kings.
Oh, Wilson has ace queen. Here we go.
All in and a call, all in and a call. Umberto has king 2 offsuit and Simon has ace queen offsuit. Umberto has king 2 offsuit, Simon has ace queen offsuit. Umberto is the winner of his tournament night here at the main event, final day, last 3 of the Irish Open with 600K up on top.
It does feel like destiny, doesn't it? But 34% is a lot of percent with just the lowly king deuce. Very, very live cards and a very hard man to kill in Umberto Ruggieri.
8-6-4 on the flop.
8-6-4, 8-6-4, Rainbow.
Ace high is holding. Ruggieri with 6 outs. Kings and deuces working for him.
3 will give him a little more hope. Giving him that bottom gut shot, straight draw.
It's a deuce.
Umberto hits his 2. Umberto hits his 2 of clubs.
Now he just has to fade an ace or a queen on the river.
He now needs to dodge an ace or a queen. He now needs to dodge an ace or a queen for a double up for Umberto Ruggieri.
It's a double up for the Italian.
Umberto Ruggieri gets a double up on the final 3 for the Irish Open main event.
What a warrior Ruggieri is. We've seen it before on the EPT. He is not easy to get rid of. This is far from over.
Now has 20 big blinds. Kyrsis becomes the shortest stack with 12 big blinds. So reminder of the payouts, guys. Next player out, 225K. Second place, 316K. And then first prize, the winner, gets 600 grand. But really, what it's about right now, if you look at it from Ruggieri and Kyrsis' perspective, is that near 100K difference between third and second.
Yeah, of course. You know, a lot has been remarked upon the massive difference between first and second, but still, that 100 grand is very significant as we take a look at the updated chip counts. Wilson taking that sock to the jaw, spitting out the blood, and he's still got plenty of ammo.
I mean, I've been lucky. It's
4-1 edge over Ruggeri with 40 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have 1.14 million up for grabs on this, our final table with our last three players. Can we give these three guys some encouragement here tonight to see who's going to become Irish Open champion for 2025?
I can't believe I've only been on for one level. This is, I was just looking for a second there. I mean, this has been incredible. So much, so action-packed.
Yeah, I mean, this has all been about the ascent of Simon Wilson, who is in such a commanding position right now. Ruggeri, off the back of that double-up, opens the button with 10-9 suited. The chip leader gets out of the way, and now we have Curtis moving all in with the Spraggy Ace-7 offsuit.
Yeah, fair fight, but not a hand you can raise call here at the stack depth, especially when it represents over half your stack. Easy fold for Ruggeri.
And now they are even Stevens, Griffin, 16 bigs each. And that's an awesome position for Wilson to be in, to have the two short stacks pretty much even and just know you can bully the hell out of them because they're going to be trying to outlast the other.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a look at the dealer for sure.
Shoving from the button, shoving on both players with ace-deuce of diamonds. The survival game is real as Curtis folds Queen 10 in the small. Ruggeri folds the big. Wilson is pumping it up.
I'm starting to learn the words to that song.
32. 2.
60 Irishmen and 1 Italian. Those are the rails.
That sounded like the beginning to a really bad joke.
Yeah.
Ruggeri shoves small to big with ace-5, Queen 4 for Wilson.
Close to the same hand. They look so similar.
Not quite ace-queen. The fake ace that is the 4.
I nearly actually put the chip in and I was so confident. Ace Queen. It's 10 blue.
Trance Music says, I miss Joe Stapes. We all do. Rep.
All in.
We have an all-in and a call. All-in and a call.
Wilson shoves small to big and Curtis calls with ace-4.
Versus ace-4. Ace-3 from Simon. Ace-4
Yeah, we're gonna
is held by
get a chop a lot of the time here, but you never know.
Ace-3 suited, ace-3 of clubs. Ace-4 unsuited for Ignatius. Simon is ace-3 of clubs. Ignatius is the player, all in. The flop, Queen, 9, King. 2 diamonds.
%75% chance of a chop.
We have a 10 of diamonds on the turn. Neither player has a diamond. Neither player has a diamond.
86% chance of a chop. You've got to chop it up. I love it.
8 of clubs on the river, ladies and gentlemen. We have a chop pot. Chop pot.
I didn't know what to say, Griff.
Everyone loves to pump it up, and you know, pump it up. Everyone loves to pump it up, pump it up.
If you'd gone with their version, you've got to chop it up, that would have worked. But instead, you decided to do the irrelevant version.
$35 back.
So 16 bigs for Ruggieri, 15 bigs for Kyrsis. 80 big blinds near enough for Simon Wilson. Blinds going up in 12 minutes, the first of the 40-minute blind levels incoming.
45 with this.
35 back?
With this.
Oh, with that, all right.
Wilson with the Spraggy.
I'm all in.
It is another look at the dealer hand. This will get the crowd going again.
They're pretty rowdy. Do you think maybe we should cut them off? No more drinks? I just think they're getting a bit loud, a little inappropriate maybe.
I think in the history of the Irish Open, no one has ever been cut off.
Okay, it's driving me nuts. What's Kyrsis' sweater? Is it a Game of Thrones thing? It's a band?
If it's a nerd reference, how the hell are you not getting it?
Because I'm only getting half the story, man. I can't see the bottom half. I need him to get up. I need him to be all in. Find a call, chip leader. Simon,
Not calling with 4-3 offsuit.
No.
Can I keep him?
Oh, someone's saying, isn't it Mortal Kombat logo? I don't know. I'm not a half logo expert.
If you're a true nerd, you'd be able to identify it from half of the logo.
Kind of badass to just wear a Mortal Kombat sweater to an FT, though, I gotta say. I see the word die. Dies. Any, it's from Dune? A scorpion from Dune?
I just love the fact you just believe whatever some random person says on the internet, Griffin. It must be so nice to live in your innocent little world.
It's Diesel brand. I don't know what that means, but...
Wilson shoving small to big with ace-8. Ace-5 for Kyrsis. And it's a call. Here we go again.
Wow.
Simon shows ace-8. Ignatus shows ace-5. Ace-8 for Simon.
And I'm telling you, the person loving this spot more than anyone is Umberto Ruggieri.
Of course.
Staring down the barrel of potentially a near 100,000 euro pay jump if ace-8 can hold against the ace-5.
And the flop. Ace-Jack-6.
Well, right now, the 8 kicker is playing. Bad news for Kyrsis, who's the at-risk player.
Another 6.
Oh, wow. It's going to be another chop, isn't it? You've got to chop it up. You've got to chop it up. You know you chop it up.
And the river is a 2, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we have a chop.
Well, Griffin, you know what they say.
Everyone loves to chop it up.
You got to chop it up.
You know, chop it
Oh
up.
my word, you're the worst.
Well, we didn't talk about how we were
You're the
like the
worst.
flow of it. I don't know. I didn't know we were going to keep going.
I'm done with you.
No. Look, we're getting tens.
I know.
People like experimentation.
I know. I can tell.
Not that type of experimentation.
You're like 1.4 in blue now. 13.
You hear Simon Wilson circling his prey. How much you got there, huh?
Yeah.
How much meat on those bones?
And Simon is going to be loving things in 7 minutes' time when the other two stacks become even shallower than they are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not an open jam from Wilson, but he has raised the button.
Hold on.
Curser shoves. Gets a fold from Ruggieri with ace-4.
You have a good one? Calling my shove?
Good one.
Buono un attimo, un po' tutte le mani, 8 domande, ti prego, sto in 3 left il torneo della vita.
Go.
Cursus with Jack-6 of hearts. Raises to 4 million. I like the way Ruggieri's got all of his chips in little mini stacks. Sweet. Bite size.
Yeah, Ruggieri, bite-sized chip man. Too strong a hand not to play here. Perhaps just weighing his 2 options, which would be flat or shove.
And now we get the jam from Wilson in the big blind. How badly did you want to squeeze with any 2 here?
Yeah, personally, I would have preferred to see a jam, and not just because I can see Kyrgios has Jack-6 suited. I think that there are going to be more raise folds from Kyrgios than your average player who has this chip edge against Ruggieri. And also just a hand that you just want to, you feel okay about running at this stage as the short stack. And yeah, now you're playing out of position with not a, with a less than 2-to-1 stack to pot ratio, with a capped range against an opponent that's just a flop to flush draw when you flopped a gutter, and if you don't improve on the turn, probably gonna have to run to the hills, and suddenly your 13 big blinds have become sub 10. So I think a slight mistake from Ruggieri playing this as a call pre-flop. And yeah, it doesn't even call the 3 million. So I also think that's quite a poor fold. I think Kyrgios could just be betting a 9 there, and you have too much equity to fold queen 10. So again, it's interesting, seeing some mistakes. We're bound to see them. Having said all that, Ruggieri seems like he hasn't put a foot wrong in many EPTs playing for hundreds of thousands of euros. But yeah, if we flop some equity there, we got to keep going. I mean, nobody don't got a lot of room here, but...
What did you says? You pushing now or raising?
With you?
Having said that, it might also be a strategy of why am I going to burn this 3 million if I think my opponent, when he's bluffing or when he has it, is just going to keep on betting. Let's save my 3 million, preserve more fold equity. So if I get a hand like, I don't know, pair of sevens on the button.
Yeah. Ruggieri jamming sevens here. Gets the fold from Wilson. Cursus in the big blind. Folds as well. That food was fine. Commentator is wrong. What food did you criticize, Griffin?
I think he means the fold.
King deuce of diamonds for Wilson on the button. And raises. So just to give you an overview of the stacks right now, Wilson playing still around 80 big blinds, Cursus 20 bigs, Ruggieri 10 bigs. Blinds up in 40 seconds time. So this will probably be the last hand of the level. And then we'll get the first of the 40-minute blind levels. And we'll see how shallow Cursus and Ruggieri are now. Folded to Wilson in the small blind. Ruggieri not playing Jack-10 here.
In the next hand, the blinds will be increased to 1.5 million, 3 million with a 3 million ante.
Wilson, Queen-9. Expecting a jam here, Griffin?
Yeah, definitely. I find the fold from Ruggieri there interesting because I think in game I would also have folded, but because the blinds are going up, you know, that his 11 big blinds are going to turn into, you know, 8, 9. And this shove would have gotten through, but...
Okay, so we are pumping it up. I mean the blinds. The blinds are going up. They were 1, 2. They're now 1.5 million, 3 million. And that means Simon Wilson, the chip leader, still has more than 50 big blinds. Ignotus Cursus has 13 big blinds. Umberto Ruggieri has 5 big blinds. Still a tale of the have and have nots, but those two short stacks are even shorter now. This is level 43 of the main event, the first of the 40-minute levels, and we are going to play 2 more 40-minute levels before the next break. And Wilson conferring with the rail as he leaves the blinds to battle it out. Cursus in the small. As we welcome the return of Joe Stapleton.
It's a me! Hello, my babies. What the heck is going on? 5 big blinds, huh?
A very interesting dynamic right now.
Plenty.
1 big stack, 2 short stacks. And Wilson understanding what he needs to do is play them off against each other, or their fear against each other. Near enough 100K difference between third and second. So basically, just put them at risk the whole time and hope that they'll just fold, as we saw Ruggieri did with the ace-jack, because they want a ladder.
There's only 1 ladder left, right?
Well, I mean, effectively, yes.
I always sort of saw it as rungs. Like there's 1 more ladder rung.
This is the sort of brilliant insight that Griffin brings to the table.
I don't think you're ladder hopping, right? You're just going up the ladder.
That's right. That's right, Griffin.
You guys know what I'm saying. Who's on my side here?
Griffin, can you mute your mic before you do? Come on, Griff.
I just feel like you're just not like respecting what I'm saying.
Cursus is opened. King 7 from the button. Deuces.
Sacramento asks, so we want to call it rung it up? Time to rung it up. Don't you know, rung it up.
Look at this leveraging here. Leveraging the 7 big blind stack against Cursus's 9 big blind stack.
Suited Chong.
Suited Chong. Is everybody Tim Chong tonight? I did see him on the rail at some point. Ace 10 for Ruggieri. Let's go.
Yeah, good comment here.
All in. Let's hang tight on the comment.
Yeah. But yeah, Kirsten has to stop opening. That was one of the comments that was on there, and I'm inclined to agree. His job right now, or at least his job was, to stay out of the way. Let Ruggieri blind out. I mean, you're looking at a crazy page up, and instead, Kyrsis, I mean, really showing, I think, his inexperience.
I think you mean you're looking at a crazy pay rung.
Pay rung, yes. But yeah, maybe showing his inexperience of ICM in particular. You know, I have remarked on a couple of occasions how impressed I've been with some of his aggression, some of his 2 barrels, some of his bluffs. 13. But he needs to, I mean, he kind of has that give no F's attitude that I kind of love and makes for an entertaining final table. But as far as finishing top 2, he's kind of doing everything he can not to, and I think he needs to be a bit more careful.
Wilson shoving on the short stacks. Agreed, Griffin, by the way. Thank you. I mean, this is kind of a dream spot to have 58 big blinds versus 9 and 8. You can just shove every hand.
But it's kind of a, not a full dream spot. To be, when you have 19 big blinds and third has 11, it's a spot where you can just watch it go down. You just wait. And Kyrsis has just not been playing by the rules, and it might end up costing him as now.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. M.
Easy shove for the 7 bigs.
Shoving into the big blind of Simon Wilson, who politely hands them over to Ruggieri.
Yeah, and I think Wilson, something that is always an interesting thing to discuss that we don't always get the opportunity to. But Wilson not hugely incentivized to necessarily call off Ruggieri light. You know, he kind of wants to keep the short stack in there to be able to put pressure on the person in second. Having said that, now that Ruggieri has leapt over, maybe that strategy wouldn't be as effective since Kyrgios wasn't really playing by those rules anyway, right?
Yeah, it's an unknown quantity. It's a fly in the ointment.
Yeah, if the player that's second in chips isn't folding the way he should and open folding buttons, then, you know, as chip leader, it's not as easy to exploit this advantage.
And you can't exploit it if someone moves all in front of you. Looks like Ruggieri is going to pick up another pot here. It's your turn, sir. I'm glad he's having fun, though.
Oh, I'm loving Kyrgios. He's a vibe.
Yeah. He's been real smiley all day, and I really do appreciate that.
I kind of just get this, like, his way or the highway kind of attitude that's just, like, very ICM is for poor people, you know?
Now, there was a theory floating around that it's not that these players don't know ICM. It's that they're very aware of how top-heavy
Ooh, interesting.
that the prize pool is, and they're
I kinda
playing
like that theory.
FTW.
Final table warrior?
Forward-thinking women.
Forward-thinking women.
Yeah. Wilson with J6, the insurrection hand. He's going to lead a rebellion. Or a peaceful tour, as some people call it.
You may take our blinds.
What
That's Scottish. Actually, maybe I shouldn't confuse that.
I'm sure many of those people thought they were Braveheart on that day.
yeah.
Especially the guy with the, you know, the horns. Wilson raises enough to put the two shorter stacks all in.
Yeah, this is the one he kind of wants to just get through. He knows it's like he's allowed to do this, but you just hate to just get snapped by ace jack or something and have to show down the jicks. All right, what's the story here, Kyrgios? What are we doing here?
Holds up the cards pretty high there.
I kind of feel like, and let me tell me what you think.
Yeah,
Joe. I kind of feel like Kyrgios thinks he's getting committed almost. He's really prepared to run it now. Like he didn't want to fold that 4 deuce. I don't think that was posturing, you know?
There is something to being like swept up in the moment. Looks like the floor is going to have a word with Kyrgios. Not sure if it's about how high he held his cards there or the fact that he did sort of talk to the rail in the middle of the hand. Nobody thinks he was doing anything, but you got to keep it. You got to keep it. You got to, as Boston Rob would say, you got to clean it up.
I mean, I don't know. Are we sure that Kyrgios isn't colluding with those guys?
Yes. Yes, I would go to bat for him.
It'd be a good undercover job.
This is a great time, by the way, for him to pick up a hand, as would be any time.
He is giving me stern big hand face right now.
Yeah, now
all the other times we had ace-7, he was all in right away, and
he's not.
Now he's doing the.
He's not such a goof right now.
Is there anyone all in on the other table? To maybe. And Kyrgios hates to see that.
Cannot get any action with the ladies. I understand. Griffin gets it. I get it. I mean, we don't.
No, we don't
get it.
No.
We understand. I guess I should choose my words more.
Yeah.
Close, more carefully.
Don't beat it.
It's a bit of an earworm, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh, baby doll. And not sure if Ruggieri has much of a raise range here off the 10 big blinds. But
He's finding it. He's finding it.
I think you just do it anyway.
Right.
Because they don't necessarily know that. Maybe you do have some raise folds here. So I don't mind. And look, he's going to get Kyrsis to at least consider flicking in and trying to flop some equity with those suited connectors. Does not, though.
I kind of like how he looks behind him to be like, you guys watching this every time? Like when you're about to jump in the deep end of the pool and you're like, Mom, you watching? Guys. Okay, I fold.
Oh, there's ice in that drink. Is that pure whiskey? Good for him. I mean, it could have just been ginger ale.
Lion King Jr. 4 says, commentators, just want to thank you for all your continued excellence over the past many hours. Lion King, I got to tell you something. I hate a kiss ass. You're banned.
No, don't do it. Lion King Jr. is like Simba. Simba lost his daddy. Simba's an orphan.
No, Simba is the Lion King, so that would be the grandson of Mufasa. Lion King Jr.
Oh, probably a spoiled brat. I didn't even see Lion King 2.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, no, ban that guy.
Nepo baby.
Yeah. Nepo cub. Get out of here, buddy. We don't want any of your royal mane.
The main event.
Yeah.
Kyrsis shoving small to big. Ooh, Jack 10 for Ruggieri. The old Jack high.
And some consideration here from Ruggieri. If we imagine that we need to call King 10, definitely. Probably Queen 10. If we're calling Queen Jack, we're definitely calling King Jack. Jack 10 needs to be something we have to strongly consider. But you just hate to be up against Queen 3 off and just lose by showdown. So difficult to be dominating, I think, with Jack 10. Surely maybe, Jack 9, some suited jacks, maybe Jack 8 goes in, some 10-9s. But in general, going to be up against better high cards. And Ruggieri doesn't want to give away his edge because I think he also, at this stage, is realizing that he has a significant edge over Kyrsis in this particular
situation.
Three-handed battle.
Yeah.
Now, Kyrsis showed how dangerous he is on a 6, 7, 8-handed table.
Yeah,
but
there's just...
the game has changed. But the players are the same. I always make that reference.
You're in jail, though.
For MacGruber.
You know I'm not a MacGruber guy.
Yeah, well, you could be.
Robin Tronic says, Kyrsis just doesn't give a shit anymore. Lol. I don't think it's that exactly, but there's a certain flippancy to the way he's behaving, which I actually am.
Kind of just want to buy the guy a beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
See what he has to say.
Where is that commentator that was here earlier with that voice? I don't know. Why don't you check Grindr?
Did he sound a little bit like this? The Lappin.
Yeah, I don't know who he's talking about, but I say stick with the dating app.
Lappin's got a very distinct, strong Irish accent that does it for me.
He's got one of those sing-songy ones.
Yeah, it's a lullaby, an Irish lullaby.
Wilson ships it small to big. Kyrsis. I wish they were singing about me. You know what, though? The spirit of this is very Irish Open. Personally, I wish that the pay jumps weren't so big right now.
Because it stresses you out.
It stresses
You don't
me
want to
out.
see someone lose.
I like
on
it.
Such a big.
I like it a little flatter. All right, take it easy. I like it a little flatter. It's just so weird that the most important ICM decisions, right? Like every decision you make here has real money value to it. And at this stage of the tournament, it's like literal the dollars are the biggest for every decision here is when we're at the end of the night, people are tired, they're wasted, we're speeding things up, and I just wish it was a little flatter. But only because I'm a risk-averse person.
Fair play. Just want everyone to know we are playing for euros, not dollars.
Gavin says, just once I want one of these guys to have a hand worth playing when this guy goes all in.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean, this guy?
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah.
Funny to fake it. Funnier if he had really done it.
Yeah, a chuckery would have been great.
You probably would get a penalty for that, though, and you really can't afford a penalty. Ruggieri ships it. Wilson gets booed for folding. Or maybe Ruggieri's being booed for winning. I don't know.
Ca cartel, băiat. La direct, plazit, stundi. Ne marci, go. Bata aí.
Ooh, Elga says Cursus is in crisis. Not bad. RSN Racing says, can we please have a hand? Goodness gracious.
Yes.
Wilson shoves.
Is it time to take a stand, Cursus?
Does Wilson really have 176 million chips?
Yeah, but Cursus has ace-10.
That's wild. Cursus has got to do it.
Is he slow rolling him?
Ask and ye shall receive. This is a call-it-off spot through and through. Domination situation.
Simon Wilson shows 10.
Cursus, the big favorite.
And Ignatius shows ace-10 offsuit. Simon Wilson
This is the
shows
most
10
exciting hand that's happened in hours.
Shows ace-10 offsuit.
Get ready for this rail to go wild, no matter what happens. Wilson, the dog. Cursus, the favorite to double up.
9-3 king.
How likely are we to have a chop this time around? Not likely. Turn card is 4.
4 of hearts on the turn.
So Cursus just has to fade 1 of 2 sixes.
If a 6 misses the river, Ignatius has a double up.
Are we going heads up? No. Double up, Cursus.
Ignatius gets a double up on the main event table.
I think this is a good bad look-alike from breaking that I'll read once we're on the player he's talking about. Cursus seems rather disgusted with that double up. I'm not sure why.
Updated chip counts, 10 big blinds and 12 between.
Oh, that double up was like for nothing.
Oh, no, I know.
It's up to 11 bigs now. I thought that was going to make a game out of this, but it doesn't change much, does it? Wilson doesn't really have to change his strategy at all.
No.
I wasn't doing anything wrong at all.
Aš nemačiau kortų dar buvo. Žiūrėjau, ar iš vis gal man blindai jau reikia dėti.
Sorry, I lost the comment, but the person
Ne,
who,
nemačiau kortų.
they said that Simon Wilson looks like Mose from The Office, which I believe was played by Michael Schur, who went on to create some other great shows. Wilson all in again, told you. Did not have to change up the strategy. Curses with King 8, which I assume is now a fold now that you've eclipsed the shortest stack. Yeah. Ruggieri calls this time.
Oh, that's going to be a big hand.
He's got Ace King. Wilson is live. So once again, we're playing potentially for heads up, but the player at risk is the favorite.
Ace King for Umberto and Queen 7 shown by Simon.
Very live hand. A king folded by Kyrsis.
Ruggieri feeling pretty good about this.
10-6-2.
No ace or king, but more importantly, no queen or 7. Wilson's got 6 outs twice.
The turn is a 3 of
Wilson's
spades.
got 6 outs once.
If Umberto can miss a queen or a 7 on the river, he has a double up on the final table of the main event.
That's right, MC Phil Baker.
That Jack's naked.
That is a nude jack. A nude egg. River is an ace. Good card for Ruggieri. Yeah, give it to me. Cheer for me. Cheer for me. Love me. Adore me.
He loves embracing the
Oh, he's a
villain
heel.
role.
He's a heel.
Yeah, this is good. This is
Ric Flair, Nature Boy. Woo!
That's not nice. Italiano, well done.
There you go. What a What a sporting fella Cursus is. To stand up and say, hey, don't boo. Don't boo the Italiano. Ruggieri has now overtaken Cursus yet again. The good news is everyone's over 10 bigs. Waleed says, I think no more jams for Wilson. I mean, I guess he has to worry a little bit now. I guess one more double up from Ruggieri and they flip-flop. So, yeah, maybe a solid point.
Break now. Let Durnas Langa.
20, 50, 80, 90, 110, 120, like 130.
Ruggieri's limped in with Queen 4 suited. Wilson's crushed here. He's freaking crushed. This could be it. This could be the double up Ruggieri's waiting for. I do love the Mo's bad lookalike. It's awesome. Really good.
9.5 million.
Oh, Wilson doesn't know what he's walking into here. Oh, how does Ruggieri fold? What? Ooh, security's getting real close to that rail. He's getting real cozy there. Maybe because he just wants to join in. Ruggieri folds. But Caliscan says, you guys are clueless. Of course he folds. Wilson shipped it.
All in and a call.
Curses calls with fives. We got a true flip here.
Yeah, a clean flip for 20 big blinds. Caught.
Like Mose versus Nate. One of these two things has a slight mathematical advantage.
And this is just a huge moment for Wilson, who's been losing the all-ins with the shoves. Needs to hit a king or a 9 and does on the flop.
Wilson connects with the 9. Curses in big, big trouble.
And you can see how much this is going to even out the stacks in a way. Wilson just 104 million. Now both opponents would have 60 were these fives to win.
Turn is another ace.
Only a 5.
The good news is that Cursus is drawing to a full house. The bad news is there's only 2 ways to get there. And it's only going to happen 5 times out of every 100 times you run it.
Turn down your volume unless you love it.
Oh, so close. But so far, Ignotas Cursus finally succumbs in 3rd place, cashing for 225,000 euros. Simon Wilson and Umberto Ruggieri will now play heads up for a prize difference of nearly 300,000 euros. A little heads up handshake. How'd they learn that song so fast? Did they pass out a sheet? I hear a break being requested.
Give him 5.
It's hard to say no once they're heads up if a player, if they agree to take a little bathroom break, or as they say in Canada, a washroom break. Robin Tronic says it's a very popular song in Europe. This song about Simon Wilson is a very popular song in Europe.
Yes, that's funny. Simon Wilson, actually a very famous folk Irish singer.
Sure, fine, okay. Well, why not take a second to have a peek at this year's brand new Live League leaderboard. We've got folks chasing points across all the PokerStars live events. Climb the rankings, collect prizes at the end of the season. Cash money. 3 different tiers of the range of prizes. So you can play everything from like a 2K PokerStars Open to a, you can win everything from a 2K PokerStars Open bundle to a $62,000 EPT Tour bundle. And at the end of the league, the top 10 players from all the leagues are going to be given an opportunity to apply for a Team PokerStars Pro Ambassador contract. And the winner is going to get a 1-year contract valued at $100,000.
Kind of obsessed with the leader's name. I feel like it has like some German, some Swedish, maybe some Filipino, or it's pretty amazing.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
That was the low buy-in leaderboard. This is the medium buy-in leaderboard. And this event counts toward the medium leaderboard. So who knows how high up the heads-up finishers will go on this. So the low-tier buy-in events are $999 local currency or less. Medium is $1,000 to $4,999, and then the high tier is 5Ks or greater. Satellites don't count. Points are awarded in partnership and based on the GPI point system, so everybody knows how. I mean, not know how it works, but it's established already. All EPT and PokerStars Open events that take place in Europe and the Irish Open in 25 are eligible for this league. Such a lack of decorum from the Irish Rail. I'm not going to read that. I think it's fine. I think it's fine, guys. I think it's the spirit of this particular situation.
But the lack of decorum in particular.
Yeah. This is the high leaderboard. I recognize one name on there. Jordan Glazer.
Yeah.
No. Umberto Ruggieri, obviously, has jumped up to number 4. And Sam Grafton creeping in the top 10.
Sammy G.
Guess what, Sam? Triton doesn't count. And I wonder how high up the medium leaderboard Simon Wilson and Umberto Ruggieri are going to go. I mean, this is the kind of score that maybe if you weren't chasing these leaderboards before, you might start now, right? You can have a bankroll. You can afford to play way more events if you walk away from here with 600,000 or 316,000 euros.
Yeah, I mean this will count towards the medium for Umberto, right?
That's right. That's what I mean. The medium leaderboard. I mean, that'll put. I assume that no matter where he finishes, first or second here, Ruggieri will now be on the medium and the high leaderboards.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. It's great to see Ruggieri deep in something again. Ooh, I see. Okay, Ruggieri's still not there. I thought maybe I saw the TD there with the phone. I thought maybe they were going to talk about like a little deal, but not at 56 big blinds and 16, are we? We're going to need a double up for Ruggieri.
If I remember correctly, Joe.
Yeah.
Must have been James that mentioned it before you got here. Or perhaps it was David Lappin. I'm not even sure if it was...
Someone smarter than me, but yeah, go on.
I can't confirm this, but I did hear something about that Simon Wilson wouldn't chop.
No matter what?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that might have just been some, gossip and trickery.
Sure.
Umberto Ruggieri, back to the final table, please.
They're calling Umberto back.
To the final tables, please.
I forgot, by the way, Neckman lets us know on YouTube. Simon Wilson's a rugby hero in Leinster. They're his school friends singing. And David Lappin let us in on something interesting, that at the start of this tournament, many of Simon's friends put a $5 on him to win at like 225 to 1. And so there's going to be a big, big, big celebration, and lots of money won from lots of people should Simon take this down. How long do you think they wait for Umberto before some sort of? I would imagine quite a while, right?
Yeah, they will not start without him. No way.
Yeah. Let's say it's an hour.
I think they'll wait. Yeah. I think they'll do everything they can to find him, but I can't imagine that he will ever take more than 15 minutes.
We got him.
And did get him.
Not only do we got him, but I think that we are settling in, and we have got our Irish Open ringmaster, a man with a lot of experience with crowd control and keeping these Irish lads in check. Let's kick it on down to Phil Baker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Irish Open main event is down to its heads-up 2 final players on our main event table. The stacks are as follows. In the big blind will be Umberto Ruggeri with 56,500,000, and in the small blind with the button is our chip leader with 170 million, Simon Wilson. Gentlemen, before I ask the dealer to shuffle up a deal, could I ask the two of you to please shake hands, and we wish you both the very best of luck. Gentlemen, please, Umberto, Simon, shake hands.
Good luck, bro, right?
There you have it.
The runner-up for the Irish Open 2025 will receive a fantastic €316,000. The winner of this event will also win a fantastic amount of money. €600,000 will go to the winner, as well as becoming the 2025 Irish Open champion. Ladies and gentlemen, to both our players, I wish you both the very best of luck. Dealer, shuffle up a deal.
Thank you, Phil. Best of luck to the heads-up players here. Marcus asks, can you give Rob Farrell a shout-out, Joe? Griffin, what's a shout? It's like if I go like, hey, Rob Farrell, what's up, your friend?
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not something that you necessarily would
I don't
wanna
do that. No, I don't.
No. However, if you find him on Cameo, you can pay him to do it.
Yeah, it's like $19. I like to call it, it's embarrassingly low
The blinds
to
are
get a
1.5 million
cameo from me.
and 3 million with a 3 million ante.
Thank you, Phil. Blinds are the same as they were before we took that little heads-up break, but they're going up in under 10 minutes. Hellivan asks, is these chips are fake? No, they are real chips. Thank you for your question. And Ruggeri's, kind of been in a similar spot before. He's gone deep in an EPT. Didn't make it to heads up. Oh, he's shipping. What has he got? Deuces. Griffin, take it from here.
Ducks fly together. Quack, quack, quack.
I do love you, Griffin.
You never say it off air. You're so performative.
That's not true at all. If anything, I'm way less angry with you off air. Because you ruined my life less. Where do you think that feather's been that Jack of Hearts like sniffing it so much? Speaking of. William says, just got here. Joe, what are chips vals? The blue chips are $1 million. The purple chips.
$500,000
are $500,000. Jack 10-8 top pair for Wilson. A very nearly nut low for Ruggeri. Can you give David Panda Fitzpatrick and Tom Air a shout out from Doyle's in Limerick? Not only will I not say David Panda Fitzpatrick and Tom Hare's names on the air, I will also not say Doyle's in Limerick. But thank you for your question. Would you mind giving Marcus and Lyons a shout out as well? No, I will not read any of these names.
Which ones does he not want you to read?
Marcus Lyons. I'm not saying it. Going to the turn. It's a 5. Wow, all of a sudden, Ruggieri has some hope. $16 million in the middle. Wilson checks. Maybe trying to give Ruggieri a moment to take a poke. Doesn't go for it. River's a 9. Puts a potential flush and a 4-card straight out there. Not a lot of flush is here, right, Griffin, the way this action's gone?
I think that Wilson could have a flush here. I think more what's going to be interesting is Ruggieri with the 5 of hearts in hand going to consider turning this into a bluff when checked to? Because Wilson should be checking this pair of jacks. You're going to know this 5 is no good. You're going to be shown down against 10x, 8x, Jack X a lot of the time. And with this check, you have to imagine Wilson would probably have bet a queen, maybe even a 7, certainly hearts. So now if we know this 5 is no good, can we attack those 1 pair hands and try to get a big fold? And we can see him gathering some of those $500,000 and now 1 million chip denominations. And looks like he's going to go for it. That looks to be about 12,500,000. And it's going to be a tough decision for Wilson, certainly.
This would be absolutely devastating to Ruggieri should he be called here. He's already a big dog. I don't know what's happened when I haven't been in here, but I have not seen Wilson make a lot of wrong moves. He seems to zig when he needs to zag. Nope, zigs when he needs to zig. Zags when he needs to zag. That's what I was going for. Damn it, Stapes, get it together.
Now what's going through Wilson's head? Does my opponent, does he check back any flush draws on the turn? Maybe. Does he barrel a lot of his queens? Probably. Does he value bet this size with just a 7? Maybe.
We don't know.
We don't really know. But I think Wilson is going to start to come to a bit of a conclusion maybe that a lot of these hands that he's representing, maybe you're going to find some 2 barrels.
What do you think of this? It's a limp pot, so there are not many combos which are pure bluffs. Wilson makes the call,
and,
as suspected.
Plug your ears.
5 is shown, Jack is shown.
And Ruggieri, who was already in rough shape, loses another chunk as the player from Ireland pumps it up.
So you're trying to tell me his school buddies bet $5 each, like dozens of them? It's amazing.
That's what I understand.
That's great.
Where are the lyric books? How do they learn this? Do they just tell everyone, hey, we're going to replace this with this?
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
The disparity between how seriously Simon's taking this and how bananas his rail is acting is actually giving me life. It's a well-known football chant. Yes, you just replaced the word. I've been watching the NFL my entire life.
Yeah.
I've never heard that song.
I've never heard it once. I mean, I don't catch a lot of Tennessee Titans.
Lawrence
games,
Taylor, Winter Wonderland. It doesn't really go. Wilson shipping Jack 9 of clubs. What do you think, Griff? King high, 12 big blinds?
I think I would fold this one, but I would know that I'm folding the best hand some of the time.
Yeah, Pie Face is right. Real football songs are offense, defense.
Someone said European football. No, there's only.
It might be European football. I don't know.
Is it like Gaelic football?
I don't think we say that anymore.
That's what it's called. For sure. Isn't it?
Soccer. Oh, James is telling me it's soccer they're talking about.
Oh.
61 big
Gaelic
blinds
rugby, I think.
for Wilson. I just don't think we see Gaelic anymore. 61 big blinds for Wilson, 12 for Ruggieri.
Come on, let's go.
Uh-oh. Wilson with the hammer. Gets a walk. There's got to be a songbook.
It's like 18 blue back.
I agree with you, Victor. Just creating some vibes. Nothing wrong with a bit of chance. Come on now.
That's
Wilson,
a big old hand, King.
Wilson with a monster.
33.
43. 33 total.
10 big blinds after Ruggieri posts. And this is going to be the last hand of that particular level, if not the last hand of the tournament. Wilson shoves. Oh, Ruggieri kicks it in. Let's kick Hartigan back in.
Yeah, blinds going up, 2 million, 4 million with a 4 million big blind ante. Level 44 begins.
2 million, 4 million with a 4 million ante. 2 million, 4 million.
And that means Ruggieri is a whole lot shallower now. Sub 10 big blinds. Wilson with his opponent on the ropes, and if he can seal the deal, if he can close this out, the noise in here, the scenes we will see are going to be something else. An Irish champion here in Dublin at the Irish Open 2025. The prospect is real.
That's really cool.
I mean, are you guys feeling the vibrations of the room? I mean, it's just the vibes right now. It's palpable.
It's pretty great.
Oh, Ruggieri with ace 10 here. Now, he was just getting the small blind right, which is 2 million. And is he going to play this as an open jam? Or is he going to get a little bit funky?
Nah, you can't get funky off 7 big blinds. I don't think. You're just, not really balanced, not really doing it with hands you're limp folding, and not really doing it. You're just shoving. And I think he's maybe just trying to make it look like a little bit weak because he is so strong for the stack size, heads up. Maybe he's trying to make it look like he's thinking about folding. But there's only one move here. And if he proves me wrong, I'll storm out of here.
I really think he should be trying to get a read before he does this.
Well, I guess you're storming out of here, Griffin, because he's just raised to 8 million.
Bye, Griff. He's back.
Bye.
Okay, so
he's gone.
It's a min open instead of an all-in, and 6-5 of diamonds for Simon Wilson. Just checking the stack of his opponent.
Don't you feel like you have to just call now?
I mean, he should. This is part of why you don't do it.
Right.
I mean,
because he gets to
you
see
don't want to
cheap
see
flop
the
and realize his equity with 6-5 of diamonds,
the
2
Jack
life cards.
6-8 flop, and then he takes his equity. Now you have 5 big blinds. It's like we don't mind just taking it down pre-flop. This isn't the kind of hand you want to trap with. It's not like you're gonna get ace-3 to shove. That hand was calling the all-in anyway, right? You're not getting queen 10 would have called the shove anyway. Jack 10 probably would have called it. So this is the problem: is you're allowing a hand like 6-5 suited to realize their equity. Having said that, it is extremely unorthodox and suspicious to Wilson. Why is he doing this? Does he just have aces? Should I actually just fold this because I would have folded to a shove?
Yeah.
I think because it's suited, Wilson's going to come to the conclusion the price is too good and call. But turns out I'm wrong sometimes, like I was when I saw this min raise. So
it happens.
It does happen.
Let's see how Wilson responds. Is he going to flat? Or is he going to put his opponent to the test?
You know, it'd be so meta if Pontos was on the rail and called clock.
He shoves.
All in on the call.
This is
Wilson all in,
unexpected.
called by Ruggieri.
Umberto shows ace-10 off. Simon shows...
And Ruggieri gets it in good as a 59% favorite. Wilson has live cards, and if he hits, it will be over.
41% is so much percent.
Surprised by this shove, but maybe you thought that he could fold. I don't know.
In for his tournament live at ace-10 off suit.
I think he just wanted to take the live cards equity.
Gets it in with 5.
Who's raised folding?
You can get a little sneak peek if you just call.
I agree with you, but
yeah. But could this be the hand where we crown the 2025 Irish Open champion?
And the flop.
6 on the flop. And the straight draw.
78% is so much percent.
Unless we see an ace or a 10 on the turn or river, we are going to have our champion.
Ace.
That's cute.
King of clubs.
Still 6 outs for Umberto Ruggieri.
Umberto Ruggieri needs an ace or a 10, or Simon Wilson will be the Irish Open 2025 champion.
The river card is a deuce. We are walking in a Wilson wonderland. He is the 2025 Irish Open champion.
I've never seen anything like this.
Wilson's flying. The bear is flying. Scenes at the RDS.
And even the massive security guard can't really do anything. He's trying to keep them contained. Oh no, someone needs to tell him it's not worth it. Let him go. He's getting wet, the poor guy.
Simon Wilson, a favourite of the Irish poker community, has won the Irish Open main event. He will lift the trophy and claim the first prize of €600,000.
Outrageous scenes here at the Irish Open.
Oh my goodness. I wonder how much the Rails has collectively made too from betting on him.
Oh yeah.
Umberto.
How amazing to have all your friends on the rail like that. What a dream.
Gentlemen and ladies.
That was the move.
First of all, I would like everybody to join with me here this evening. What a great battle it was between all 9 participants on the final table. Will you please show your appreciation and a man who battled a short stack for a lot of the table tonight. He takes home €316,000 at the Irish Open. Our runner-up this year, Umberto Ruggieri.
He's probably not taking home all of it, but
Umberto, what a job.
hell
Simon, where did you get that lot from? Where did they come from? All over Ashbourne. All over Ireland. All came to support you here. Simon, what does it mean to you to become Irish Open champion this year, 2025?
Yeah, it's really special. Like we come every year, thousands of people enter. It's always just a pipe dream, you know, and as the days go, the lads, you know, it gets fewer and fewer. And yeah, fuck, it was...
And let's talk about the last, maybe when there were 3 and 4 of you at the table. There were some great highs and great lows. I think the great high was that time when you hit I think it was the 7 on the river to get a big lump of chips off the fellow big stack that was there. So I think it was ace jack 10-9, then you hit the I think you hit the gut shot then to hit the strike, and that was a massive pot. I think that was a big change there to take a lot of chips away from your fellow chip leader.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big change in momentum. You know how these final tables go. It can come down to one big pot, two big pots. Thankfully, I've been here before and many times I've experienced, and I was happy with how I handled it. The rail, big help when we were short early on. Really happy to be able to close it out. Of course, the first place prize is incredible, but the memory of winning this tournament, it's second to none. Biggest achievement I've had, and yeah, I'm going to remember this day forever.
Simon, you are the Irish Open Poker Champion in 2025. 600,000 euro is yours. Simon, come and join me around to the front for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Simon one more time. Simon Wilson.
They told him to pump it up, and that's exactly what he did. And he's going to get the max first prize. A reminder, when the payouts were first announced, when we commented on the jumps, particularly that huge jump between second and first, we were adamant there's going to be a deal. There was no deal, because when this final table got short-handed, Simon Wilson asserted such dominance, had such a huge chip lead, there was never any question of the prize money being chopped. He gets the full 600K, but congratulations to Umberto Ruggieri, because he did a decent job, Joe, of laddering up and securing that second place prize money.
I mean, he was so short for so long of this. And I just got to also credit for Simon for being a really charming champion. What a speech he just gave right there. Just a dream answer. The stuff that you want to hear, the stuff that you want to see when you see a person truly just having the best day of their entire life because of a poker tournament.
And Griffin, we know, they're off again. We know that this has become a truly international event. People come from all over the world to play. You came over from Canada in 2017, the year you won. But it is the Irish Open, and we know how much it means when an Irish player wins this huge Irish event.
It just feels right, doesn't it? It just feels like this is the way things should have been in this absolutely massive field, to find our way down. Two final tablists with that Irish flag, and Simon Wilson taking home the incredible 600,000 euros. I mean, don't even know the guy, and I'm proud of him.
I mean, congratulations to all 9 players for making the final table. Worth highlighting, they're the final 9 from a starting field of 4,562. The biggest Irish Open main event of all time. Expectations that number is going to get even bigger in 2026. How they're going to make that work, I do not know. Luckily for them, they've got 12 months to figure it out. We've just got a couple of minutes to go until we go back down to the floor, join Phil Baker for the winners presentation with Paul O'Reilly, with JP McCann, and of course our champion Simon Wilson. Worth highlighting that as the Irish Open draws to a close, we are going to be moving on to Monte Carlo. We have got the first European Poker Tour event of 2025 about to start. Kicks off at the end of April. We're going to be there from the beginning of May, because we're going to stream the last 5 days of the EPT main event. That's May 6th through May 10th on the PokerStars Twitch and YouTube channels. Looking forward to being reunited with you guys, and finally having an EPT stop in this year, because Prague was the last time we had one.
It actually kind of makes sense that you would do an EPT stop. Like, this would be a great preview for the EPT, right? Like, this is a small buy-in, big heart here at the Irish Open. And Monte Carlo kind of really just sort of fulfills what we expect the EPT to be the next phase, the next step up for a tournament like this, right? The 5K buy-in, the scene of Monte Carlo, a little bit more reserved than this. Former home of the grand final.
The cars.
On the EPT.
The water.
The cars, that's right. The bottled water that they fill the bird baths with. It's, it makes sense that it's cool to have this as the kickoff. We were supposed to have Paris. It didn't happen.
Yes.
But to have this as a lead-in for what will probably be a slightly more elite level.
That's the glitz and glamour contrast to this sort of like,
That's right, exactly.
Every man, this is great out
Salt
here.
of the earth versus diamonds of the earth.
yeah.
So EPT Monte Carlo on your screens from the 6th to the 10th of May, and then when we return from the Riviera, it is all about the Spring Championship of Online Poker. It starts the very next day. Sunday, May 11th is when this year's Scoop kicks off. We are going to be streaming the main event, which starts on Sunday, May 25th. But worth highlighting once again that Nick Walsh, our friend, our colleague, is going to be doing plenty of coverage of Scoop final tables on the PokerStars Twitch channel. And of course, at some point when we are back together in London, Joe, we're going to have to wrap up the Irish Open. We're going to have to wrap up EPT Monte Carlo on the next episode of the Poker in the Ears podcast. So much has happened on this trip, it could fill 2 podcasts alone. But in one episode, we're going to have to talk about this, Monte Carlo, and Scoop. So when the podcast comes back in May, available on all podcast platforms, it should be a bumper episode with plenty of fun behind-the-scenes stories from the live events that we're going to be traveling to and have traveled to over the course of this month. Well, it is time to put a period on the Irish Open. We are going to go down to the floor. It is almost time for the winner's presentation. Not just for the winner, but for all of his fans, all of his friends who are stood behind, ready to celebrate, ready to hit the bar once he has lifted that trophy.
Fantastic. What a sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the presentation for the Irish Open Main Event 2025. Joining me on the presentation stage, we have Julian Leante, who is the business manager for PokerStars for live events. Julian, thank you for joining me. On my right-hand side, we have Mr. Paul O'Reilly, who is proprietor of the Irish Open. On the far left, Mr. JP McCann, also proprietor of the Irish Open. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic battle it was this year, with 9 players coming to the table with a fantastic, in total, €4,447,950. Before we present the prize, I want to say something very special. This event would not be the event it is without the support of our sponsors, PokerStars and Paddy Power Poker. The sponsors have enabled us to bring you what you see here in this arena, in the Crack Den, in all the different rooms in the ODS. And on behalf of the Irish Open, to PokerStars and to Paddy Power Poker, thank you for your continued support. It now leaves me with the honour and privilege to announce the presentation of the Irish Open Trophy to the 2025 winner. He has just taken home €600,000. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Simon Wilson!
This is incredible.
Simon.
Another interview.
We already had a little interview straight after the game. Great support from the lads. I'm going to ask you a question. Is the plan now to have a few beers?
We'll have a few.
Simon, do me a favour. When you're having a few beers with all the boys, and there's a lot of here, so I think about 100 grand could go on the drink bill for these guys. Simon, do me a favour. At 4 in the morning when you're still drinking and everybody's getting tired and a bit low, will you do me one favour?
Yep.
You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 2025 Irish Open. See you back in 2026. Simon Wilson, the champion!
What an ending. What an ending.
Congratulations to the 2025 Irish Open main event champion, Simon Wilson. And
this is what the Irish Open is supposed to be.
Brings this amazing event to its conclusion. A reminder, the next event for us is Monte Carlo. We'll see you there. Live coverage starts May 6th. A lot of people to thank. The extended commentary team we had here on this event: Caitlin Komeski, Kerry Jane Craigie, David Lappin, David Doherty, Dara O'Kearney, Thomas Murphy, Finton Hand, Nick Walsh, Griffin, Benger, and of course, Joe Stapleton. My thanks to the entire production team, the entire staff who put the Irish Open together, and most of all, thanks to you for watching our 4 days of live coverage. We'll see you from the Riviera. Until then, I'm James Hartigan saying good night from Dublin. Thank you for watching the Irish Open 2025.